happening, guys? Welcome to Be Outdoors. So we're out for our first overnight camp of 2018 and the first overnight camp of the channel.
Yeah, bar the intro.
Yeah, bar the intro.
It's a nice change for me. We're in a deciduous forest, mostly indigenous. Lots of oak, bit of ash, lots of hazel, some beech.
Yeah, it's a spot local enough to me, just on the banks of the Boyne River. So we're just gonna get set up, have a camp, do a bit of Gucci cooking, and yeah, take you guys along with us.
Stick around.
Stick around.
So we're gonna head off here now and get a bit of firewood. But before we go, I want to show you these. Wait and see these bad boys. You ready? You ready?
Look at those. What the heck?
Spice wellies.
The old fishing wellies, boys. It's wet. It's wet, wet, wet.
Wah, wah. So, as you might be able to tell from the size of some of the trees around here, it's quite an old wood, and that has benefits to us from the firewood perspective, because there's an awful lot of dead standing. You can see a lot of stuff has been pretty choked out by ivy, so it means that from the firewood perspective we've got plenty of wood. Just means that we also have to be a little bit more considerate of what's over our head, widow makers, any sort of limbs that are likely to drop, or any trees that are just completely dead. That's a loose grip.
Check out that one, guys.
Check out the left. That's pretty loose grip. Look above your head, guys. Before you set up, look above your head.
You don't want that bad boy falling on you in the middle of the night. We've got a lot of hazel in this forest. Hazel is my favourite tree. I love it. It grows in straight poles. Normally grows in clusters, and if you give a couple of them a tug, you generally tend to get dead standing. So you'll know the dead ones because when you give them a tug, you give them a wiggle, sort of down near the base. If they don't snap, they're alive, so leave them alone. If they do, you get some decent firewood out of them. Basically what we're doing is we're cutting up poles for our tarps, because if you have a look around us, yes, while there's trees everywhere, there's nowhere really to, let's say, string a ridgeline up between two trees unless you've got 100 foot of paracord, which we have, but sure, what's life without whimsy? So we're going to set up like a pole system, and we'll show you our tarps set up when we're doing it. Ooh. So we're putting up our tarps here now, and basically what we've got is we've got 2 poles, one either side of the tarps, and I'm going to run a ridge line, flat line hitch. Get your paracord, wrap it around your tree or post or whatever you're using, take a running end and go inside your loop twice, 1, 2, and you go outside once, and while your line is tight, you just pull your knot tight. There you go, folks. Flat line hitch.
So guys, got my sleepy time set up for the night. I'm just going bivvy. I think pretty much the same setup as Carl. So I got a bivvy, down sleeping bag, down my rest, and then for the crack I've decided to try a foil under sheet. Yeah, survival blanket as an under sheet.
Mylar never hurt anyone.
Yeah, I see this on a lot on American channels, and they seem to be all about putting this underneath their sleep kit, and it's supposed to radiate heat back and keep you warm. So for the shits and giggles, I'm going to try it and see what happens. Might make a difference, who knows.
Sure. So basically I've a grabber blanket on the ground. It's a 5x7, block out that cold. Sleep pad, thermarest now wear all season. It's the business. It's super comfortable. It has an R rating of like 4.9, so keep me warm. US Army bivvy bag. In here I have a down pillow because I'm fancy like that.
Ooh, Gucci.
And I have a Celtic Cosmic 20 down sleeping bag.
Ooh, fancy.
What I do is with my down pillow, I've got a down jacket there as well. I just stuff the down jacket into the down pillow. Just got like a little compartment here, and I'll be sleeping comfy.
Comfy, cozy and toasty.
Oh baby. Okay folks, when I'm splitting wood, you'll see I have a good hard log. It's not spongy, so the wood isn't going to bounce. Okay, I'm splitting it this way, and when I'm splitting it this way, where the piece of wood is heading down towards the ground, just resting on the log, what you do is you rest the end of the wood on the log. So if you hit towards the end here, it's not going to flip up kind of like this. You know, it's not going to do that on you. So on the edge of the log, right there, legs far apart, so if you miss, you know, straight through the legs, nothing around you that the axe is going to get hung up on. What you do is you aim for a spot here, you just swing hard. So this is axe that I was talking about in the Grants Force Brooks Hunter's Axe video, one that I put together. It's your Ultra Force £1.25 head on a Grants Force Brook small forest axe handle. You can see here the axe is hung a bit lower. I've done away with the hump. It's a lovely axe. So in action, it's a great little splitter. I'm happy enough with it anyway. So we're going to get the fire going here shortly. We're going to put down a base. Took some ash tree. There's a fallen ash tree over there, and when we were cutting into it, it was coming away in rings. I'll show you here now in a sec, but fascinating. So Bernard is just cutting it up there now. Going to make the base for the fire. I'll just show you a little close up. So here you go. Got a little reflector here. Bernard put together. A few stones reflect the heat back, and this is what I mean by how it's separated in rings. If you have a look here.
As you can see, yeah.
This one has started to delaminate, if you will. Bernard's going to pull it apart here and show you. See the way it's split right down there. Bingo. So that's going to act as a nice base for the fire, keep the fire up off the ground. I ain't gonna lie guys, this isn't gonna do Irish stereotypes any good, but check this out. So we got Yankee White IPA from Rascals Brewing Company. They're our Rackhill in Dublin. 5 Lamps Lager, also out of Dublin. We have a saying in Dublin, anyone asks for directions or anything like that, we always say, do you know the 5 lamps? We'll go and hang your bollocks off them. Here's 12 O'Clock Mass by Dowd's Lane, Clonmel, Tipperary. That's actually Bulmers make this shit. Chieftain, Franciscan Well out of Cork. And then Brewdog Punk IPA out of Scotland. You know, intercontinental and all that. It's not intercontinental, is it? No. No. Brewdog Punk IPA out of Scotland. You know, keep her international, you know. Dinner time, folks. I'm gonna cook up a little bit of steak. I'm actually going straight forward this time. I'm gonna cook up a bit of steak and a bit of garlic bread. Bernard's going real fancy though.
Some sort of steak pie,
calzone,
Frankenstein's monster. It's gonna be steak and cheese and some sort of Bannock thing, inspired by Carl's calzone.
Inspired by Joe Robinette's friend, fucking Kyle or whatever his name is. But
Buddy Kyle.
sounds great. Sounds amazing. I'll be interested to see how it turns out. I'm just having
So
steak.
am I.
I'm having steak and beer. We'll let you see how we're getting on. Just gonna let me grill heat up there for the steak. These coals are whacking off a serious amount of heat, boys and girls.
I'm going tinfoil. Straight in. No messing, no fancy grills.
No picking.
Try and get the bannock prepared while this is tinfoil. So basically I'm going to try a similar enough premise to what Carl did before with his calzone. Only instead of pressing the whole thing down in one go, I'm going to just fold into the bottom here so it can try and cook it evenly. And then I'm going to take it out. I'm going to fill it up with cheese, bits of the steak, and then put it like a top on it, sort of like a pie. This could be a fucking disaster, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It'll be a nice little experiment.
People are gonna start thinking I like burnt food. I'm just a shit cook. I think I've incinerated my steak enough. So I'm going to warm up the old Gaelic bread while the steak is sitting. Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Let it sit.
I'm going to steal the grill, well, a portion of it, to try and heat this absolutely ridiculous bannock bread.
Over-engineered, overcomplicated. Guess who forgot you had chorizo? That's not too shabby, folks. Not too shabby at all. Mmm. There you go.
So we've had a little issue, tiny snag, in that my bannock has stuck quite hard
Incredibly.
to the bottom of the pan. Now in hindsight, probably should have put some oil on it instead of smearing a piece of chorizo around. But
claiming that he was too smart.
But yeah, maybe, yeah.
Carl, how's your dinner? Grand. Bernard, how's your dinner?
Okay guys, I ain't gonna lie, this bannock was a little bit of a disaster, but look, it's cooked okay. The pie idea didn't work, but that's still not bad looking. Steak sambo, we'll see how it goes down. But yeah, gonna tuck into that, and nice little 5 lamps brewski here, and hopefully hold down this bannock.
Give us a boy.
Yeah.
So I've had my steak. I'm all fed up, as they say, and it's brewski time. And I have myself a Rascals Brewing Company Yankee White IPA, and Bernard's gonna have an old 5 lamps lager.
Cheers, homie.
Cheers, brother bear. Fizzy. You do tag me in these, and I'm like, what the fuck is this prick tagging me for? Oh wait, someone's asked me a question.
Well, they're addressed to Carl. Great video, Carl. And I have to reply on your behalf. Like Carl's receptions. Carl is thrilled with the response, thanks.
People think you're Carlo.
Yeah, a few people.
Why does he go by Bernard? What's the story there?
It's a pseudonym.
I'm looking forward to your next video, Carl. Bernard puts up a video. Who the fuck is this? Steal yourself from Kalashnikov bursts. Steal yourself for Kalashnikov bursts of caramel. incendiary tropical fruit and an all-out riot of grapefruit, pineapple and lychee before a spiky bitter finish. One is citrusy. The fucking bird shit on me beer. Fuck off. Look. Oh, you can't see it because it's not in the light.
Birds don't appreciate your beer, Tom.
Fucking bird shit on me.
That's
Cheers, guys.
What time?
Ooh, have a whack at that. A bit of an old aftertaste off that.
Is it Kalashnikov?
A Kalashnikov into caramel, apparently. With lots of grapefruit, lychee. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, it tastes exactly the same as every other beer I've tasted.
What do you think of that? Notes of pretension.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, right? You've handed me 6 beers tonight.
And here's me like, oh shit, I wonder should I? Well, fuck you then, I'm taking that back and you can have another 5 lamps, you prick. Here's me, I'll give him a good one now because he'll appreciate a good one. He'll say you had 4 of these. Like.
Cans of Bud. If I tasted it blind, I might say it's Miller.
How'd you grand? I drank a load of stubbies of fucking Dutch Gold last night, it was grand.
Yeah, I read the back though, so it's okay.
So, what does 5 lamps have to say for itself? This is a lager. It's actually quite nice. Well, I find it quite nice for a lager. I'm a Guinness drinker myself. Stout. Dunor Avenue.
Oh, lovely. Dublin 8.
If you're ever fortunate enough to get lost in Dublin, you're fucked. If you're ever fortunate enough to get lost in Dublin, there are a few things you should know. Like if anyone asks you, do you know the 5 lamps? There's no right answer. Ah yeah. Do you know the 5 lamps? There's no right answer. You see, traditionally directions given from the 5 lamps can be a little challenging to your anatomy. Oh, that's what I said earlier.
What did you say? You'd be hung by your bollocks.
Oh, anyone asks you for directions in Dublin, you say, do you know the 5 lamps? And they say, yeah. You say, well, go and hang your bollocks off them. That's what this is. If anyone asks, do you know the 5 lamps? There is no right answer. You see, traditionally, directions given from the 5 lamps can be a little challenging to your anatomy. In fact, for such a famous light source, directions given from there can be a little less than illuminating.
Oh, Jesus.
Truth is, you're much better off sticking to what you know. And now that you've discovered our 5 lamps Dublin lager, we think you'll find your way back. Do you know the 5 lamps? Don't hang your bollocks off them.
Morning, guys. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. Slept alright. It was fairly cold last night, I have to say. Slept okay. Woke up about 5 o'clock with this human bagpipes over here, snoring away.
That means I got some sleep.
Yeah, you got plenty of sleep. At the expense of me.
My apologies.
But yeah, it was a nice night. Stayed dry and pretty clear all night. Just was a bit of a breeze coming through. But yeah, overall, not a bad night's sleep. Could have been worse. I've had worse, definitely. So, if you watched Carl's last video, you would have heard him say the reasons why he doesn't like gas stoves and prefers bush buddy stoves. And I can get it, the ambience and the noise, yeah, I get it. But can he make a cup of coffee while in bed? No, he can't.
I can make a cup of cold coffee while I'm in bed.
Yeah. Do you want a cup of coffee?
Sure. Just try not to make too much noise.
So Carl's off packing his gear. I just wanted to actually talk for a minute on after watching Carl's last video. I just got thinking about my relationship with the outdoors and mental health, and you know, just the positive mental aspects that I get from the outdoors. And I think Carl's spot on in the decompressive effect. It just allows you to take a break from the norm of your stresses, your normal environment. And like, for example, myself, I've been crying out for this overnight. I really needed it. I knew I did, because I've just been under a lot of pressure at work and just, you know, life in general. Myself and my girlfriend are looking for a house at the minute, and that's causing a lot of heartache. And I was actually getting to the point where I was getting so stressed and so down that I didn't even want to go outside at the weekends. I was coming to the weekend and I was fucking spending the entire day in bed, or I'd spend too long in bed to get out and film anything, and hence why Carl's had to carry the load of the videos for so long. So I've been crying out for this overnight, and I was dreading it coming out. Being perfectly honest, I was dreading it. And when I got out, as soon as I got out, I could feel it. Because when you get out here, you suddenly have very, very simple things to worry about. You have to, because it's cold, is also a great example of how to keep things simple. Like, because I come out with Carl, it's cold. All we had to do was set up, get our tarps up, get firewood, get a fire lit, make sure we were warm, and that's our only concern. From that point on, then once you're settled, then maybe you can think about things, and you're thinking about it in a different environment. But it's very process driven. You've got one thing to think about, get that task done and move on to the next one. So you can't swamp your head with things you normally swamp your head with when you're at home. Which really, yeah, it really works for me. I can feel it in myself. I feel a little bit calmer. Now, I could go home now and I'll feel exactly the same way as I did when I left, but I've got that little mental break from it. I've got that little time to process things, be it when you're out, when I'm lying here asleep, or when I'm talking to Carl. Get that time to process things. Watching the fire is great, but it doesn't always have to be just a camp or overnights. You can go out for a walk, you can sit in the park for an hour, or just take in some light, change your environment a bit. And it really, even a small break makes a big difference. It's not going to cure all your problems. Well, it might, but it doesn't for me. I know that much. But it helps. It helps break up the monotony of things. And yeah, so like, all I can say, carrying on from Carl's video, is just give it a go. Like, it's not gonna cost you anything. You don't have to have gear. You don't have to have, just have to have a decent pair of shoes or runners or boots or whatever the hell you have, and a raincoat, and just get out, go for a walk and take it in. If you're struggling for places to go, if you're struggling for woodlands like this to go to, Carl's already proven you don't need to worry about it. So yeah, I would just say take it in and yeah, take on board what the outdoors can offer you, which is just a break from the norm, break from the monotony. So guys, we just broke down camp, just tidied up the kit and stuff and cleaned up the place a little bit, just make sure we don't leave too much evidence we were here.
Time to get on out here.
Yeah, so we're gonna walk out now, but before we do, I just wanted to take the chance, myself and Cara wanted to take the chance to just say thanks to the 100 people that subscribed. Well, 102 now, is
Yeah,
it?
103 this morning, I think.
Yeah, so like it's only a juvenile channel. Like we started it what would you say?
Started at the beginning of December, I think, but we've only really took to it sort of since the beginning of January, so we're only at it really a month.
Yeah, and Carol's been holding down the fort in terms of content.
It's in its infancy, says you.
Yeah, it's in its infancy. Yeah, Carol's been holding down the fort in content terms, but hopefully now I've got the camera, I've got used to it, and I've got my motivation back to get outdoors, as I was saying earlier. So yeah, hopefully I can start contributing to some decent content. But yeah, so just a quick thank you. Not gonna gush here for ages, but
Thanks guys, yeah,
thanks,
we
guys.
really appreciate the support.
And
It's
if you
amazing,
did if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to click like, subscribe, share, whatever. We've got an Instagram also, so Carol's been putting up some Gucci photos on that.
Gucci.
Yeah, so if you do like that, if you're on the YouTube channel, Instagram, and if you're Instagram, go to the YouTube channel and hit subscribe. There's some big things that's coming in the new year from us.
Yeah,
So
we've got some nice trips planned and stuff like that, so
yeah,
stick around.
Stick around, and thanks for
Hope
watching,
you
guys.
enjoy it. Thanks a mil, guys, and hope to catch us on the next one. Yeah.
Peace.